With the future of two major WWE stars revealed and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Going over his job as a color commentator for WWE, Wade Barrett noted on the After the Bell podcast, "I love it. I've said it time and time again. I'm enjoying my time as a commentator more than I ever enjoyed my time in the ring. You're really fortunate to get one career in this industry. I'm aware my in-ring run lasted a long time, had a lot of fun, scratched a lot of the itches I had, and achieved the majority of the things I wanted to achieve. But I would say this, you're super lucky if you get a second bite of the cherry and get a chance to have another run, another career in this industry and be around this crazy wild circus that we have. You're incredibly lucky. At this time, I just have so much fun being completely in control of me. I'm not waiting for somebody in management to say, okay, wait, tonight you get to take on this guy. I'm not waiting for those opportunities that guys are constantly scrambling for. I know what my role is. I know every week I'm going to be sat next to Michael Cole. I'm going to be calling the action. Occasionally I get to sit next to Kevin Patrick too, which was a real treat. I like knowing what my role is. I also like the fact that I have no one to blame but myself. If I have a good night, you know what? I prepped really well, thought about my angles, and I nailed it tonight. If I have a bad night, once again, it's my fault. I'm not blaming someone in management. I'm not saying, why do they keep making me compete against that guy? Why do they keep, not giving me the prime opportunity? So it's all on me now, and I feel like sink or swim, and with my personality type, I handle that a lot better than relying on other people to give me opportunities. Explaining the romance angle in AEW between Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho, Dave Meltzer pointed out on Wrestling Observer Radio. Flowers came out. This guy comes to the ring with flowers, apparently from Angelo Parker, and Ruby Soho gets the flowers, nearly gets pinned, but still comes back to win, but she's mad that somebody brought flowers out to her in the middle of a match. They're having a deal with Matt Menard and Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho and Saraya, where Matt Menard and Angelo Parker are not liking this romance angle at all. Ruby Soho wasn't either, but they're doing a little thing with Matt Menard and Saraya where they're kind of against it, but they have something in common. Revealing the attendance numbers for WWE and AEW for the second week of November, Ringside News wrote, WrestleTix has compiled attendance data for WWE and AEW television shows, shedding light on the popularity of these programs. Yet again, WWE was able to beat out AEW in attendance numbers. At the top of the list is WWE SmackDown, which held an event in Columbus, Ohio at the Nationwide Arena. Impressively, this show drew a crowd of 7,805 fans, making it one of the most attended wrestling events of the week. The enthusiasm of the Ohio crowd was evident as they packed the arena to witness their favorite WWE superstars in action. Meanwhile, WWE Raw made its presence felt in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania at the Mohegan Sun Arena. The event garnered substantial attention with 7,308 fans in attendance. Raw has consistently been a flagship program for WWE, and the strong turnout in Pennsylvania underscores its enduring popularity. On the AEW front, Dynamite delivered an exciting show at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. While the attendance figure of 4,413 falls slightly below the WWE shows, it demonstrates AEW's ability to draw a dedicated fan base to its events. AEW has been gaining momentum in the wrestling world, and their West Coast stop was no exception. Rounding out the list is AEW Collision, which took place at the Oakland Arena in Oakland, California. The event saw a respectable attendance of 4,274 fans, showcasing the commitment of AEW's California fan base. This week's attendance figures provide insight into the wrestling landscape, with WWE SmackDown leading the pack, followed closely by WWE Raw, AEW Dynamite, and AEW Collision. Taking to X, former WWE star Val Venus sent a message to The Rock over his political stances as he wrote, "Hey Rock, just to clarify, are your positions as follows? Taxation is something other than the crime of extortion. Inflation is something other than the crime of theft. Abortion is something other than the crime of murder. Kamala Harris is something other than a clueless who sold her soul sleeping her way into power over private sector humans. Joe Biden is something other than a hardcore racist who used his 1996 crime bill to cage millions of black folks. The Federal Reserve is something other than the most untouchable, above the law counterfeiters in the world. Is your new buddy Oprah something other than a child trafficking whore who opened an all-girls school in South Africa and was immediately rocked by sex scandals and payoffs? Are these your positions, Rock? When you threw your Hollywood weight behind the scumbags Biden and Harris, you intentionally created a fluff piece to paint these two idiots as moral and ethical humans with zero substance in your questions or their responses. You had the opportunity to ask Biden what he will do about the central banking cartel, stealing value at will out of the private sector, fleecing America dry, and you willfully decided not to go there. Shame on you, Rock. You sold your soul. Debate me. On Everybody's Got a Pod, WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase went over his experiences with steroids, noting that when I was in Mid-South, I was very cautious because, especially when you start to stick things in your body and how it's going to react to it and all that, I was fairly cautious, but yeah, a little bit. And I say a little bit because it just helped. It just helped enhance my look, but I wasn't against a lot of guys. What or who am I thinking of? The Ultimate Warrior? Yep. Oh my gosh. And of course, that's all he had was a body, and I don't know how much his steroid use had to do with his death. At the beginning, I can remember the one thing Vince McMahon said to me as he said, "Teddy, I want to look a little more visible in the gym," and I got the message. I may have at the beginning taken some testosterone, but I only took it as a kick of what I was doing, and I did not continue to take it. Just personally, I was afraid to do that. I don't know, it's kind of like you can do anything, and like you just said, that may have contributed to the Warrior's death. I don't know. Giving praise to Logan Paul and his current WWE run, Cody Rhodes said this on the Gabby AF podcast. "There's some what I call pretend wrestlers in all companies all across the world, and I think he probably irritates them the most because brother is an absolutely stellar professional wrestler, absolutely stellar, and he's the greatest rookie year of all time. Perhaps he is blazing forward, so I look forward to what he does." Speaking about his relationship with fellow WWE star Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes said during that same interview, "Seth Rollins, who him and I absolutely don't love each other, I don't know. I don't have any heat with him, but that's always a tricky situation with Seth. But judging from the main event he just put on for Monday, he's up to any challenge." Sticking with Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare posted this video reacting to a handmade book a young fan gave him during a WWE live event. Here's the clip.
It's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We are at a WWE live event in Johnson City, Tennessee. The young fan made this book for me as a school project, I believe. He actually gave it to me. It's a full book here. Who is Cody Rhodes? And I just want to shout out the kid who made it. Let's get to that final one. My boy Jack. A note from the author. Cody, you are amazing, and there is always WrestleMania for you. I love it. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
As Kairi Sane returned to WWE and aligned herself with Io Sky and Damage CTRL, many are wondering how this story will play out. One user posted a clip from SmackDown where Sane forgave Bayley. As they wrote, "I feel like Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky had a plan before they came out here, and that is to bait Bayley until the time comes." Kairi Sane would end up liking this post, as it remains to be seen how this angle unfolds. Despite coming up short against Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal title at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, LA Knight picked up a win over Grayson Waller on the most recent SmackDown, as Dave Meltzer explained this situation on Wrestling Observer Radio. So with LA Knight, the whole thing was that Waller was there to be a guy for LA Knight to get a win coming off of a loss. They wanted to make him strong again. They gave him a promo time. He's still after the title. It sounded like they're going to do another match with Roman Reigns. He did the belt motions and everything. For a quick update on Brock Lesnar returning to WWE, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Lesnar is the one I was told who is not back until the Royal Rumble. With John Cena needing surgery on both of his elbows following his return to WWE, Dave Meltzer said this about his future in the ring on Wrestling Observer Radio. He might do a comeback next year, but now that the strike's over, the only reason he's back is because of the strike. He fulfilled his commitments and everything. He's having surgery on both elbows. So he didn't do a lot. He really didn't wrestle a lot, but he still ended up with 2 surgeries. So that says that maybe he won't do. It's not like he was doing anything crazy in the ring again. I would expect him to do a WrestleMania match or something like that, and maybe sporadic TVs, but not a whole hell of a lot. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.